All right, let's see where we. Oh yeah, we started last time. My team is good. I just need to find a way to get that DT.
It's Madden NFL 24 on EA Sports, and we'll be watching the Huskies, reigning league MVP. He's going to have to air it out plenty this week. It's the Huskies and the Dolphins, and it's coming up next on Madden
Quarterback
NFL 24.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us in South America in the vibrant and colorful Brazilian beachside city of Rio de Janeiro. Today we've got a Week 8 matchup on tap here, as it'll be the Miami Dolphins taking on the Huskies of Rio de Janeiro. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Rio de Janeiro team. They have certainly got it rolling of late. Winners of 6 in a row.
And it's simple. The more you win in the regular season, the more likely you play at home in the postseason, and that can take you deep into January.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Dolphins, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4" quarterback.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right?
All right, let's go. Let's put it on the show.
Rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it in the middle of the schedule. That's a pickup of 11 and a first down on their first offensive play. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. They'll keep it on the ground.
Let's go.
Nowhere to go that time.
That side of my defensive line is secure. I got to say.
5 on this play to move the sticks. Back to throw. Here's Richardson. Over the middle and hauled in by Osborne. And they'll bring him down
get him out of here.
After a pickup of 4. The Dolphins will send out the punter now. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. And they'll be led out by their third-year quarterback.
23-8. Having a good year.
Leading the NFL in passing yards to this point. It's been a tough man to slow down. So this defense certainly has its work cut out for them.
Throwing on first down. Pull. Quick hitter here. It's complete. You talk about this Miami defense. We know they're going to be tough to throw on. Top 3 in the NFL defending the pass.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run.
Ooh.
And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on third down.
That was good.
Now they'll run on the ball. And he won't quite make it.
He almost had it, too. He almost broke free.
He got about 5. Fourth down. Here's A.J. Cole now to punt this one away. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Taken in at the 22. It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6. And it'll be Dolphin football. They'll start on the ground here on first down. Trucks over him. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. quick pass out to Juju.
Good tackle there.
First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down. And they'll send the slot in motion left. Richardson now going to fake the jet sweep, and he'll throw off play action. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. The fumble on first down. Now here's second down.
All right, let's go. Let's go.
Juju in motion left. He's going to handle it on the touch
Got him.
A great read by the secondary. They come up to stop that touch pass before it can even get back to the line. 3rd and 12. And Richardson yet again.
Oh my God.
Inside the 25. And all the way in for a Miami
How
touchdown.
y'all let him catch that?
KJ Osborne. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point safely through. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. Oh, now Greer, he fumbled the football.
Oh my God.
This is picked up by the and this is brought all the way back. A fumble recovery and taken
This
to the
is a horrible
house for
start
a
to the
Miami
game.
touchdown. So they get the one score, kickoff, get a fumble, take it right back to the house. 2 quick touchdowns.
Got a lot of work
about
to do.
10 seconds on the game clock.
It's like a big 1-2 punch that may lead to a knockout.
Point after, up and good. And it's now 14-0. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And he returns this to the 22. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down.
Here we go.
That's caught by Howard. Well, he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Back to throw. Poole. He finds his man. Complete. It's Bryant.
Nice.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead him to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 22-yard line. One back in the backfield, he'll get
Let's
the
go.
And he's going to have a gain of 11 to the 11 before he's brought down. 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Poole. And that's going to be in.
He dropped it.
Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. To throw again. Poole.
Let's go.
And it's caught. Touchdown. Allen Robinson. He has career touchdown number 78, tying in with both Eddie George and Frank Gifford on the all-time list. And the Huskies are back within a score.
As the offense went on the field to start their last drive, you know they discussed in the huddle. Hey, if we put one in the end zone here, we've put ourselves in a position to start making a comeback.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Miami set to take over. coming off every player's friend, the open week from last weekend.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Even if you're coming off of a loss as they did, the open week is exactly what you need after you kind of get over it a little bit, right? Rest up the mind, rest up the body, get yourself ready to go. And they have to be eager to play again, especially since they lost the last time out.
That's thrown to Smith-Schuster out wide. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Here now, 3rd and a yard. Now Richardson back to throw it. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Now a 2nd and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Gary. And he'll get about 3 here up to the 44-yard line. But you look at this defense. They were terrific last week against Buffalo in that victory.
If I'm playing quarterback against this team, after what I saw on film where they had 5 picks last week, all I'm thinking about is taking care of the football, being very careful with it, and making sure I see my guys open before I throw it.
I might curl up in the fetal position.
That's not a bad idea.
I don't think he's going to do that.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the first down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. The offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Well, this defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
How'd you like to be the quarterback reviewing the game tape from last week and seeing this defense on the spot on almost every snap? If the ball was in the air, they took it away. If the ball was popped free, they picked it up. Takeaways in last week's game. I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is. At the 6-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one out.
Well, here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. Through 1 quarter, 14-7 our score. 2nd quarter now, and it's our home team with possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Back to throw. Poole. He'll get this out to Barkley, complete. And this will leave a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. From the 32-yard line now, here's 2nd down and a yard. Off the play fake. Poole. Robinson's got it. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down.
All right, here we go. Let's turn our future around. He had a bad start, but we can fix it.
Stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
Let's go.
A man over the middle, and it's complete. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Boy, everything clicking on this drive. He's 4 for 4 now, and that throw, maybe the best of the bunch. This offense is really humming, and they pick up another 1st down.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 47. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3. Here's 2nd and 7. Operating from the gun. Poole Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw.
Let's go. He dropped it? Oh, no, he caught it. Okay, cool.
He's got
Nice.
this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 15 yards through the air and a first down. So it looks like somebody may have forgotten the snap count, and a 5-yard penalty ensues.
False start. Offense.
Well, the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. The false start backs him up 5, first and 15. Now they'll throw here out of the gun.
Oh, he dropped it.
His throw is incomplete.
I know we're just in the second quarter and there's a ways to go in this game, but that's his second drop. I'm wondering if that's a little bit of an alarm bell for them when they start calling plays on the offensive side of the ball.
His eyes already looking upfield on that last one before he brought it in. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Under pressure, and he'll go down.
That's a sack.
Back at the 26-yard line. Carlos Basham in there to get him for a loss of 3, and it will be 4th down. The kick by Elliott is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks, you tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaken up on the play. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they are back down to 500 following the loss last week. Consistency has been a real issue for them so far.
Brandon, you almost don't know what team is going to show up every week. I mean, there's no consistency with this ball club at all, and if we feel that way, I know it frustrates the coaching staff, and it also has to frustrate the key leaders in the locker room.
I'm on.
Figure out how to get coordinated.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. Gary, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
And he'll get about 3 out of that up to the 39-yard line.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time.
There you go.
You still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll be the call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers. He's under 3 yards a carry at the moment. The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in the first half as he gets it away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. Now the Rio offense set to take over. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas,
yeah,
right?
A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield, only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
Quick throw to Barkley. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't.
Oh, he dropped it.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
Now they go screen. It's complete. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be fourth down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the first down.
A nice return that time of about 14 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Richardson looking to throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. It'll be a gain of 5, and it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On 3rd down, Gary. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down.
Boy, we got to stop that.
That's a pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. 50 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Chewing up big yardage, another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run. Big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
All right.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Richardson. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. K.J. Osborne with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Dolphins are able to add on to that lead. A diving catch for the score. He laid out. That was special.
And you know the first thing they're going to check, right? Did he complete the process of the catch? All the way through, all the way to the ground. Ball doesn't hit the ground without control in his hands. All of that, yes. Check the box, touchdown.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes it a 21-10 game. So that ends up a 7-play drive all told. And it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Well, the Rio offense about to set up shop once again. Well, Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to locker room just a little more animated.
I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Definitely have possession.
first down now, but that clock rolling.
He fell out of bounds. What do you
Operating from the
mean?
gun. Pull. Past the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Operating from the gun. Pull. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to try to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bobby Okereke. And the Dolphins are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. Richardson looking to throw this. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Richardson to the air on 1st down. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
So many times we've seen him trying to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Not wanting to take a chance this time. They'll keep it on the ground. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So that flag obviously takes away the good yardage that they had on the play.
And talk about a momentum shift, because we can visibly see this celebration shifting from one side of the field to the other as soon as everyone saw the flag.
So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports halftime report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Hi again, everybody. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the league here in the unofficial midway point, Week 8 of the NFL season. We'll get started out at GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. And it's the Chiefs who are out in front as they move towards halftime. It's Mac Jones with a touchdown pass there.
You know he was a check.
From there, we head cross country to check on the Giants at home at MetLife Stadium. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting LA Rams. DeAndre Swift, the lone touchdown there as he's cashed one in on the ground. Lastly, let's get up to Buffalo to check on the Bills. And they were winners in that one as they take care of the visiting Denver Broncos. Chris Olave leading the way with 3 touchdown catches.
Let's go. The Broncos once again.
This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, and we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side can play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
All right, Coach. Thank
All right, we got to make a comeback. This is the first time we've been into the halftime losing in a long time.
So this a 2-possession ball game as we get back underway, set for the 3rd quarter. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. This offense ready to go to begin this 3rd quarter. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the 3rd quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, They're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going.
Here we go.
There should be some gaps to run through now.
And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. He continues to deliver a first down here. He had 4 catches in the first half, and this one number 5. Looking to throw. Pull. It's caught on the right side by Robinson.
Nice.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 46. Off play action. Pull.
Here we go.
Wide open receiver complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. They had a gain of 10 last time, now a gain of 20 here. And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. From the 20, here's 2nd and 4. Back to throw. Pull. He finds Robinson. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. 7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Looking to throw. Pull. He's got his
nice.
That's
let's go.
And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. Back to throw. Pull. That's complete.
Come on, we can't be doing that right now. We behind.
A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal.
Come on, what was that throw?
For the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should...
Come on, again?
Slanted, it's intercepted. It's DJ Turner who's got it, and the Dolphins are going to take over here.
Oh, you were selling right now.
Their own 5-yard line. So the false start will back them up 5.
False start.
So that penalty will back them up half the distance to the goal line.
Let's go.
Up the middle they go. Gary. And he's upended at the 6 as they double their room to maneuver on a pickup of 3. 2nd and 9. Richardson out of the shotgun.
Let's go.
His throw here's incomplete. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, didn't look his way at all in the first half, and I'll bet you the offense coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Nice call by the defense there on 3rd down. Just flood the field with extra defensive backs in their dime package. Nowhere to go with the football. Forces the incompletion.
And a fair catch is taken here, a step or 2 inside the 45-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he's brought down.
Offside. Defense.
So with the completed pass and the yardage they got, they'll decline the penalty.
So obviously, more yards on the pass completion than they would have gained with the penalty. They did the math. They did it well, and it works for them.
On 1st and 10. Pull. And a quick throw here. That's complete. So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Now they'll run on the draw. And he gets it down to the 32. They got 5 through the air last play, now 5 on the ground. 1st and 10. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. It's complete to Robinson. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be 2nd down. Looking to throw.
Oh my God, Poole again?
Intercepted a third time. Picked off by Bobby Okereke. And the Dolphins are going to get the football here at their own 23.
Partner's bad enough when you just can't hold on to the football. But when your quarterback's throwing it to the other team, that's 3 interceptions now, 4 turnovers for the game. You really have no chance to win the football game.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive.
Oh my God, how did he get so far behind the defense?
Last appearance, they couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block. That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
On second down, Gary. 3 yards on the gain. They're going to need to do better on this next play. It'll be 3rd and 12.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Nice hit.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Now the Rio offense set to take over. Now they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
So the completion good for 7 there, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. 44 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game. On 1st down, Poole.
Nice catch.
He still makes a catch, even though it was tapped by the linebacker.
Let's go.
This to the 25 before it's all said and done. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
Well, sure looked pretty coming off of his hand, but sometimes you might have to take a little bit off of it. That one looked a little too hot to handle.
Yeah, but off the tip, hey, they still got the catch, right?
It's amazing, isn't it? Even when it goes wrong, it turns out right.
Throwing on 1st down. Poole. This is caught. And they are able to stop it, but he does take it all the way to the 2. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there. His first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Huskies are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the 3rd.
We're getting set up for what should be a great 4th quarter. This has been a hard-hitting game because both teams have punched and counter-punched equally well. And here's a good finish to this drive. A touchdown run here late in the 3rd quarter.
They're going to keep it on the ground. And he will
Let's
dive
go.
into the end zone, and the two-point conversion is successful. I guess the coach looked at the two-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a three-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a two-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. Still enjoying the lead here in the third quarter despite their defense giving up that last touchdown. Now they'll see if they can get the equalizer here on this drive. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Juju in motion left. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. 68 yards receiving now for him in the game, and a first down on that last catch as well. Richardson. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down. From the shotgun, Richardson. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A Miami first down on the 14-yard pickup. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And a missed tackle there as he pushes forward for a gain of 4. 2nd down at 6 now from the 42. Back to throw. Here's Richardson.
Let's go.
Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. The Dolphins on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Now Richardson. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And he's going to be taken down at the 49.
That's fine.
Clearly short of the first by a few yards.
You can make it come back.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to swell the lead to 6. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And that will keep this a 3-point game. Maybe an important fourth quarter miss as this stays a 3-point game.
Yeah, now overtime is very much in the equation here. Just what you mentioned, a 3-point game. They get a drive, put it through the post. We could have some free football, couldn't we?
So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. The Dolphins get there this time and they bring him down. Tyree Wilson able to record his 5th sack of the season.
And we all know how talented this guy is who's calling the signals for him. But even the best in the game, they can struggle against a good, cohesive zone coverage. Can't find a gap in the secondary quick enough, and he ends up taking a sack.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last.
Why we do this play?
Big 3rd down play.
Why we do the little check down play? What we doing out here?
And they will get this across midfield, but still well short of the first as he's dropped at the 46. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And this will be covered up. Pretty good result. It'll be down at the 14-yard line. On first down, Richardson. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down. Now a handoff up the middle. Gary. And the big boys up front. They're going to stop him right at the line. 3rd and 5. Now it's Richardson. And he's got it past the 30.
Oh, come on. He caught that?
Dropped. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down. Off play action, Richardson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. 2nd down and 8. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. And he'll push forward to the 37, gain of 2.
You'll forgive me if I get excited about what we just saw there, won't you? I know I'm supposed to be neutral here, but those were terrific plays back-to-back defensively. They know what the mission is. They've got to force a punt here.
Oh, come on.
They absolutely do. Steps 1 and 2 done. Now they need this 3rd step. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another first down.
Yeah, who's in the room? No, but you got the money. Yeah. Can't do Washington.
Gary, this will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. They run the counter. Gary, and here he'll be brought down a little shy of 35 at the 46. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And now defensively they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Richardson's throw complete there to Smith-Schuster. And his defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning.
We lost. Oh, my God. You couldn't stop that?
And he will score. Touchdown, Miami. Brandon Ayuk, 27 yards. And the Dolphins are able to build on to their 4th quarter lead.
Well, that was absolutely ideal for them, wasn't it? Trying to salt this game away. I think one of my kids just graduated in the amount of time they had the football. That was absolutely impressive.
Everybody wants those salt away the game drives. What makes them successful?
Well, when you're able to mix run-pass, when you're able to control the football and stay ahead of the chains, I'm using every cliche I know, but that's how you get it done because you're not taking negative plays, and that way you're able to run what you want to run when you get a chance to call it.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The situation for him offensively as follows. Down by 10, 2:11 to go. Their long win streak in great peril as they come up 1st and 10.
We got our first loss in like 6 weeks.
On 1st and 10, Poole. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. On 1st down, Poole. He finds his man complete. It's Barnett. And he has a big gain inside.
Come on, hurry up. We ain't got time to waste.
Dropped. Throwing on 1st down. Poole. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Here we go on 2nd and 12. Man open is Robinson. And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 25-yard line. Back to to throw. Poole. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding. Offense.
So the road a little tougher here. Now 1st and 20. Laundry on the field. This is going to be a false start on the offense.
Sometimes you have to slow things down a little bit when things get heated. The cadence has to be slow and deliberate at times to make sure your team's ready to go.
Operating from the gun. Poole. This is caught inside the 15.
Let's go.
And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
Elliott on for the extra point. And the lead is down to a field goal now. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. So a little under 50 seconds to go. Plenty of time if they can get this onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Down to a knee goes Richardson, and that should finish off this victory. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And we talk so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Error-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what I'm talking about. Head coach always stands up in front of the team and says, guys, if we do this, this, and this, we'll win. And usually they say if we win the turnover battle, we'll win. Well, here's the proof right there. Win the turnover battle, go on to victory. Now the guys believe. You move on to the next lesson where you have to convince them. This one is now planted.
So for the Dolphins, they move back over 500 now.
They got us by 3 points. It's all right. It's all right.
Head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Rio, the loss will drop them to 6-2 now on the year. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at MetLife Stadium with the New York Jets.
All right. They humbled us. They humbled us. And to be fair, our quarterback kind of gave that away by throwing 4 picks. So we were unbreakable, unstoppable, but they show that we could be stopped if we just take our foot off the gas. Oh, he became a gold star. Let's go. A tight end came back. That's good.
It's the NFL on EA Sports, and we'll be watching the Huskies, reigning league MVP. He had the green light to sling it last week, over 450 yards passing. It's the Huskies and the Jets on Sunday night.
Well, we have a cold night in the Northeast. A bad evening to be without a parka, but we are set for football at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup on tap, as it'll be the Huskies of Rio de Janeiro taking on the New York Jets. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Jets ball club. The losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Cariocas, they come into this one off a bit of a clunker last time out, a loss that ended their 5-game winning streak. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. And they will be led out by their rookie quarterback.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
The numbers for Mixon last week, 13 carries, 64 yards.
There were some signs of life from their ground game last week, but overall, just a so-so performance. Everyone knows they can make a slight improvement how they contribute to this aspect of the offense. Linemen can set their blocks and hold them a little bit longer, and he can be quicker to the hole and hit a lane. If they do that, they should get some better numbers produced this week.
It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5. From the gun, here's White. Work in the middle of the
Come
field.
on. Cannot allow that.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 26 as they pick up the first down in the process. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
Nice.
But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. But you look at this defense against the pass, just numbers that they haven't liked. Number 30 in the league right now.
You know, when actors get ready for a scene, they often ask the question, what's my motivation?
Well, stop
What's the
him.
motivation of this group? What's their mindset? What's the problem?
They'll
with
make
the
him.
game? Will they create an identity that allows them to get better?
In motion, Hill. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And boy,
Let's go.
he's very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And the Jets hit the board first. It's 3-0. Had just the one big play on the drive, but that was enough to put them in field goal range.
And one big play of what they hope will be many others throughout the game. Every team has a different target for the number of plays like that, those explosives that we talk about. That allowed them to put points on the board on that drive. Let's see how the rest of the game goes.
So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they'll be led out by their quarterback now in his 3rd season in the league.
And he's certainly putting together an MVP-type season, leading the league in both passing yards
Ooh, nice catch.
and touchdown passes. There have not been too many defenses have been able to stop him or even slow him down. So he's got his sights set on another big game right here.
Got a man potentially over.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Pull. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. He'll be hit down at the 33. 3rd and 2.
Probably did a good run here.
Operating from the gun. Pull.
Catch.
Will get this out to Barkley complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
Good run.
That's a nifty running there. Ultimately, it doesn't get him a whole lot, but it does take him to the 45.
We got one-on-one at the top. We got one-on-one at the top.
And they'll give him another shot
nice.
here on the ground. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 4. Looking to throw. Pull.
Nice throw.
Got a man and he hits it.
There we go. And the face mask.
And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield.
Face mask. Defense.
So it was already a gain on the completion, but tack on some more with that penalty.
Absolutely, and no matter what angle you're making the tackle from, you can't grab the face mask, and that's just putting your defense on its heels just a little bit more.
He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9.
Holding, get out of here.
So a decent gain there on the play, but that all gets wiped out with a penalty.
Well, that's a setback, but all the good play callers, they just move on. They find something else in the playbook. They can attack this defense, and they go right back on the offensive on this play.
Back quite a ways here, facing 2nd and 19.
Someone just got to make a play right now.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw.
Okay, we take the points.
Complete. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Operating from the gun. Poole. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd. Movement there on the offensive line, a little quick, and a 5-yard penalty.
False start. Offense.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Operating from the gun, Poole. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down. Operating from the gun, Poole. And this is going to be incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
Let's go.
He is caught, and they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A field goal helps, but a touchdown gets you the lead. That had to be the message transmitted in the huddle. And they delivered there as that throw is going to keep the drive alive. And even better than that, set them up with a 1st and goal.
So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. Off the play fake, Poole.
Let's go.
End zone, but it's
He dropped it. Yeah, two wide receivers open, and a tight end and wide receiver, and you didn't hit neither one of them.
I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me an option of running.
There we go.
And it's caught. Touchdown. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Huskies are able to answer the early 3 points and take a 1st quarter lead. Well, down here, I thought they were going to hand that off. Instead, a well-designed play and the pitch and catch for the touchdown.
And I wonder who came up with it. Was it a call from the bench? Did the quarterback have a good idea and suggest it? In any event, clearly an effective play call. They saw something they liked in coverage, and they targeted it for the short yardage throw.
And the perfect way to cap their opening drive. Elliott good with a PAT, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Back onto the field come the New York Jets for their 2nd drive. And Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November, but they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd
let's go.
down.
Let's finish the drive. Let's put them away.
Here's White.
Let's go.
The throw there going to be incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Pulled in at the 24. So a solid punt, but also a nice return there of 14 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their 2nd drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both.
That's why it's good to have
motivated.
a tall receiver. See him over the crowd.
They both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up. They are in need of 6 yards.
You got 1-on-1 at the top.
On third down, Poole. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. And they'll keep leaning on the running game back to the ground. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Operating from the gun, Poole.
Ooh, good try.
Knocks the ball away and it falls incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. It makes it obviously a little bit harder to run.
I think he ran out of real estate because, like, if he had more space, he could have hit him.
And it winds up incomplete.
Nice.
Make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a 1st down.
They were backed up behind the sticks, but he still found a way to make that 1st down happen. That's the kind of fight every coach hopes his franchise quarterback has in him. Look a tough situation like that in the eye and come up with a solution on the spot.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Poole. And it's caught. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw.
Oh, come on.
Be intercepted. Picked up by Jordan Bell. And the Jets are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over.
Gotta make better decisions than that.
CD, when he went to throw that, I'm not sure if he just didn't see where the defense was. Whatever the case, not the throw you're looking for on 1st and goal.
Not at all, because, look, let's face it, that close to the goal line, if you throw an interception, is going to hurt on any down. But really, the only down you can kind of live with is if you do it on 4th down. The first 3, if you don't...
All right, let's go.
In trouble, and he's taken down. Max Crosby, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. After 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Second quarter now from MetLife Stadium. The Jets with the football here. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Here's a throw out wide complete to his running back.
Oh, no, come on.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They'll wind up getting 10 back there as it'll leave them with a 3rd and 5. White looks throw. A short throw pulled in by Kincaid. And he is going to have a Jets 1st down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5. Mixing up the middle. And the running lane's non-existent in this 1st half as they'll stop him behind the line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down. Now White. It's a short
Nice.
here, complete to the tight end. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. 3rd and 7 now. So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. White on 3rd and long. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Jets 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, We see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
On 2nd down now, Melton, and tackled down after a gain of 3, leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. They need a yard here.
Indeed.
And they'll go jet sweep to try to pick it up. Skirts by him at the 30.
Tackle better than that.
And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. From the shotgun, here's White.
Right.
And his throw is going to be incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. Melton. And he works his way through.
Come on, we got to stop
the
him.
outskirts of the red zone. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now White off the bootleg. That's complete to Slayton. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going
He could have been 14-3 right now if he got that interception.
12 yards that time and a first down. Now whistles come in before the snap. Looked like one of the Jets may have moved. And they'll try again here, 1st and goal after the false start. White off play action. And this will be incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Holding. Offense.
A crucial penalty there as the hold backs him up for another 2nd and goal. To throw, White. Open man is Hill. He's got it. Call it a gain of a yard. And this brings up a 3rd and goal.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get...
Touchdown! A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Jets have regained the lead.
Man, he just ran a terrific route. Extremely hard to defend when it's run that precisely and the ball's delivered that accurately.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. That drive a long one, spanning 15 plays. And it ends with a Jet touchdown. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25. From the 25, here's a 2nd and 7.
Yelling right now.
Operating from the gun. Pull. And a quick throw here that's complete. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. The offense on 3rd down tonight can't be any better than a perfect 6 for 6. This time it's 3rd and 3. That's caught. Allen Robinson. And it'll be touchdown.
Nice leading catch. Let's go.
He does pick up the first. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
We tried there.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets.
That was a bad throw. It shouldn't have been there.
A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. So in Jet territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 37-yard line. And he can only manage to get a couple. Second and 8 coming up.
They shut down a running game. 8 running attempts, only 5 yards.
Throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
In search of 8 yards on third down. They've already converted 2 of these on this drive. 2 for 2. Hands it off out of the gun. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32. And obviously,
we take the points.
The first down. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to fourth down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive. And once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
The kick by Elliott is good, and that will knot us up at 10. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. And for the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
New York set to take the field. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, well,
let's go one more play.
Until they showed me a reason to do so.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. White. A short throw pulled in by Kincaid. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across.
All we have to do is cover, or you can't do it.
On third down there, 21 yards to play.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable third down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the first down.
Now White with a first down throw. They'll drop this one down to Mixon. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be second down. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Second down, it's White. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. They'll come up now on a second and long after the hold. Out of the gun, it's White. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Got to hold on to that ball.
Give them credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them.
And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down.
That's the referee just trying to give them points now.
So, big turn of events there. They had him sacked on third down, but the hand to the face going to give him new life.
And when it comes to protecting quarterbacks, partners, you well know, these officials are not going to hesitate if they see a tug on the mask. Heck, if they see a hand up near the mask, the flag's going to come out.
A short throw pulled in by Kincaid. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Now White. And that one will fall.
Let's go. We got some time to probably move down the field and tie it back up.
Now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. Now the Jets will call on a field goal unit here. He hit his first one. This from 44 yards out now. And his kick here is good. And they will take the lead at 13-10.
Well, a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. And I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
One more go for this offense in the first half.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. The final shot before break. Pull. His throw incomplete. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these 2 teams at the break. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started out at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, where you see the final score there. Mac Jones, excellent in the victory, as it's one that pushes his guys 2 games above 500. From there, we head to Hard Rock Stadium to check on the Dolphins at home in Miami. And they were winners in their ball game over the visiting Buffalo Bills. Brandon Ayuk, well over 100 yards receiving with 3 touchdown catches. And finally, on Monday Night Football, we'll wrap up the weekend with a good one between the Arizona Cardinals and the LA Rams.
Let's go. Everybody who I needed to lose in the AFC West lost.
This one's been as good as advertised. Just a field goal separating these 2 teams. This is a very level first half, and I'd expect to see more of the same after the break.
And he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. This offense ready to go to begin this 3rd quarter. And Charles, some things to like about that first half. Ultimately trailing here, but certainly this deficit is manageable. So curious to see what adjustments they may have made at intermission.
As am I, because I think things bode well for a possible comeback, because I thought a lot of their best reps in the first half came through the passing game. They were hitting the open receivers, taking whatever the coverage gave them and making it work well for themselves. Now, they just want to pick up the pace of scoring a little bit. So I expect them to come out, continue to throw the ball effectively.
He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack.
Come on, we're not playing like Super Bowl champions.
Time this game, multiple defenders in there to drop it. They were trying to set up a screen there, but that one just too slow in developing.
Yeah, too slow in developing and well read, because that ends up being a bad feeling for the quarterback. When he's got no blocking in front of him, his guys are just going to let defenders go, and they're coming for him. So if it's not there, you just got to throw the ball at the turf at your running back's feet.
To throw on 2nd down. Pull. He finds his man. Complete. That's Barnett. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. from the gun on third down. Poole, he finds Robinson. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 45-yard line. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. On 1st and 10, Poole, quick throw to Barkley. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Come on, we can run it for the 2 yards if we need to. But we need to do right now.
Incomplete. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2.
What was that?
But this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Here's Jake Elliott. Career long, by the way, for him, 61 yards. This from 54 yards away. The kick by Elliott is good, and that's going to tie us at 13. So they come away from this opening drive in the 3rd quarter with only 3, but it does draw them even.
Yeah, and that has to be job 1, doesn't it? A touchdown definitely would have been nice. We know that. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you've got most of the 2nd half to try and get yourself into a position to win.
And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. So here's the Jets offense now as they get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. And their 3-point halftime lead gone now, back to a tie game. But, Charles, I don't imagine that changes too much for this offense.
I would agree. I don't think it changes much at all, whether it's a 3-point lead or a tie game. They know they have their work cut out for them, and they were going to run their offense in the same vein.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again. White. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Oh, look at the juke. And he goes out of bounds.
That was a nice run.
19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
We got too much of an ego now. We got to come back down to earth.
With a first down carry. And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45.
This referee is killing us.
Well, you hate that defensively. They had him pretty well corralled, but the face mask, that obviously changes things.
Yeah, it's a bit frustrating because you feel like you did everything right. You had him stop, but the hand gets up just a little too high, and the natural inclination is to hold on, and that's going to get called every time.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. The play fake, now White. And he'll be hit as he releases it. And that'll fall incomplete.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. When you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that. Now the Jets will call on a field goal unit here. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good, and they have regained the lead. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well, and kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
This taken in at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Now the Rio offense set to take over. Last time out, you remember their drive.
They got another. Let's go there.
Field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches
to
know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Operating from the gun. Poole got his man complete over the middle. That's Barnett. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
A gain of 6 brings up 2nd and 9 at their 49-yard line.
Now they'll run on the draw. And he'll take it across midfield down into Jet territory. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Barnett. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. Looking to throw. Poole. He finds his man. Complete. It's Barnett. And he's going to get this inside the 30. On first down. Poole.
Oh, come on, you gotta hold on to the ball.
Incomplete.
In the early days of the NFL, you could easily blame these drops on maybe some uneven or uncertain lighting in a stadium. Not anymore. The lights are pretty good.
Yeah, they're great here at night, but his second drop, indeed, not a good look. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do in that one is a receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Now Jake Elliott for the field goal try. From the right hash, it's a 41-yard attempt. The kick by Elliott is good. And we are all tied at 16 apiece. It's another field goal, his 3rd of the game. Maybe not exactly what you're looking for, but does bring them level now.
I like how you put that in there that brings them level, right? Because if you're talking about kicking, bringing that soccer analogy in, I love that one. I love that one a lot. You don't want to go for it on 4th down and come away with nothing, right? Go ahead and kick the ball. Make sure you get some points. Even if it's a safe call, I think it's the right call.
They'll try to get the run game going. This is missing. Taking it right down Broadway. Inside the 20, Joe Mixon.
Oh, they got a kick return coming. Hold on.
New York. Joe Mixon with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Jets are going to take the lead. I don't think you can get any more efficient or tidy, whatever word you want to use in that. And one play, 75 yards in zone.
Yeah, efficient, tidy, excellent words. How about explosive? 75 yards, one play. That means everyone handled their assignment, doesn't it? It doesn't just mean that the defense broke down. They really executed the way that was drawn up on the whiteboard. Big-time play, big-time result.
Extra point splits the uprights, and they will take a 7-point lead.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he returns this to the 22. The Rio offense about to set up shop once again. And after the field goal last time, see what they can get here. And at least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Starts with balling. It's 10,000 billion.
On 2nd down, they'll run it here.
Oh, no, my running back
Much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaking up.
3rd and 9 here. This is Dallas, an inside handoff.
And down he goes, but he takes
That's a
it
good
up to
run.
the
That's a good
40.
run.
It'll be a gain of 16 and give him a first down as well.
16 yards. And a real first down.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
2nd down and a little more than a yard here. Straight in.
No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose.
Wow.
They destroyed him. That's crazy.
When a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot.
He's making terrible decisions.
First down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
Here's A.J. Cole now, as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And he punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And this one will wind up being down just outside of that 20-yard line. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that second score here in the third quarter.
Nice job by the defense figuring that play out and holding it to a short game, but I don't think the offense is going to be daunted. They actually accomplished their goal. Now they've got them aware that they can throw a screen at them, maybe to slow the pass rush down a little bit, and they can throw it downfield.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
From the gun, here's White.
Can't get away, and he's taken down.
Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
Here's the Jets punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That's taken it around the 40. 47-yard punt, a return of 4. Now the Rio offense set to take over. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Holding offense.
Rabbit's killing us.
So they cite the right guard this time with a holding penalty.
And so many different assignments you can have at that position, and sometimes you might just be a step too late and have to grab and hold on.
And he's got his big wide receiver complete. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now here at MetLife Stadium, as we are set to bring you the home stretch here, the 4th quarter.
On second down, a run with Dallas.
And he'll get it down here to the 43. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Operating from the gun. Pull. Man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. Touchdown. A big play there. 43 yards.
And the Huskies are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. We are set up for a fantastic finish now. A 4th quarter touchdown here. We're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And an important one that is, as we are all tied now early in this 4th quarter.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
And New York set to take the field.
They no longer have the lead after that last touchdown, all tied up in the 4th quarter. And a chance for this offense to mount a potential game-winning drive right here.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Here's White. And his throw here's incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. On the delay, it's Mixon. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Here's the Jets punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. That's pulled in at the 32. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. Well, the Rio offense about to set up shop once again. Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the fourth quarter. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I've got a good friend in football, always talks about predictive history. He's got one of their 2 touchdowns. You can understand why they tried to find him again. Weren't able to connect, but the thought, that was good.
Now this throw caught left side, and they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A gain there of 21 yards. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And now whistles here and a flag down. Looked like someone got going a little early. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Dallas up the middle.
And he'll take this one down to about the 40.
Well, obviously they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead now, they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Big 3rd down, a field goal from this spot, 57 yards as they hope to move it a little closer. Throw left side complete. That's Barnett. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. The kick by Elliott is good, and they have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
New York set to take the field.
And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. It's Mixon on the counter. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the 1st.
White on 3rd and long.
And this one is incomplete.
Just because you got the lead in the 4th, it doesn't mean you have to play it safe. I like the aggressive play call there to push it downfield. That time, it didn't work out.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. 45 yards, that's what the punt goes for. 5 on the return.
And the Rio offense set to take over. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead.
Throwing on 1st down. Poole. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run. I don't want to make a story where there's not one, but he threw the 3 interceptions last week. Looked a little uncomfortable. He looks much more comfortable today.
Yeah, just 1 pick so far and his team leads. So now they can play complementary football, meaning if he takes care of the ball and his offense, if they're humming along, the defense doesn't have to be out there as long. He's taking care of his guys on the other side of the ball.
They're enjoying a 4th quarter advantage.
Offense.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Offensive line wasn't set. There's the flag, and 5 yards back they go.
Quarterback has to look around and make sure that his team is ready to go. Sometimes the quarterbacks go faster than is necessary.
Back to throw. Poole. He's going to look downfield for Barkley. And he's got it inside the 10. It's a big play there. 52 yards.
Boy, this has just been an offensive clinic. It's seemingly been one big play after another, and add this one on to the list. When you can bite off more than half the field on one play, things are definitely working in your favor.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. On the handoff, it's Dallas. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen...
And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. DJ Dallas taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Huskies get an important score there to extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Well, that was a quick drive. The passing game set it up, and then the running game finishes it off.
And how about how few plays it was to get it done, but they threw it downfield and then pounded it into the end zone. And as a former defender, I can tell you, it hurts just a little bit more when they run it into the end zone instead of throwing it.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
That was such a beautiful pass. Let's go.
It out to the 25 on the touchback. And New York set to take the field. Yeah, the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit. And that,
we need to pick those off.
Well, it would have been a great time for their first interception of the game. Instead, it's 2nd down. From the shotgun, here's White. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
I like it.
They're going to be in the hurry up. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Dumps it off to Mixon. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Jets try it, but the 4th down play doesn't work. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. That's a gain of 4 as we slip inside of 4 minutes left in regulation. 2nd down and 6 now. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple of weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better, 2 weeks in a row.
And it's caught. Touchdown. Antoine Wesley from 13 yards out. And the Huskies look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. An important score there, CD, and now an important extra point because it would make it a 3-score game.
Love the math there, and at this point in the 4th quarter, look, we all need next-gen stats, right? We all use them, but we don't need them here, do we? Because that means it's almost a certain victory.
Elliott now to add the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. And New York set to take the field. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
White looks to throw. And that is incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on third down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Throwing to start the drive. Pull. He finds his man. Complete. That's Barnett. So he stopped for no gain. And it's second down.
Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes.
That play is horrible.
Boy,
It's no good.
Watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And it's caught. Touchdown. Allen Robinson. A 15-yard touchdown grab.
And the Huskies are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead is now 24. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone.
This taken in right around the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
New York set to take the field.
Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on 4th down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown. So now you feel like they really need to respond here.
They certainly do, but let's face it, sometimes when you take that risk, you understand if you fail, a little more onus goes back on your ball club to try and pick themselves back up.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's going to be incomplete.
Let's go. He dropped it.
They're trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. And the pressure gets there. He'll go down. It's a sack. And it is going to bring us to the 2-minute warning.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt.
Well, the Rio offense about to set up shop once again. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
On the give, this is... And he loses the football a second time. And now this ball picked up by the offense. But here in the final 2 minutes of the game, this will be blown dead. Only the fumbler can advance the football. So this will go back to the spot of the fumble itself. On 3rd down, here's Dallas.
7 yards on the carry there, but now they're staring at 4th down.
Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, going to pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised them a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it and stopped them well short of a 1st down.
Well, partner, under the lights in primetime, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And, Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere, where all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly, they show up and they show out.
So for Rio,
the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they drop back to 500 now at 4 up and 4 down. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
All right, so we went 1-1, but I'm gonna leave this here, and I will catch you all in the next one. I want to say special shout out to all the lurkers, shout out to anyone who watches. I appreciate you. I will catch you all next one.